Yeah, so in today's video, we are trying to work on the physical features, format, and then style specifications. So more of like trying to format the whole document. So we will start with the styles. So try to import a style. So with the documents we have currently, we have our EndNote library, our Word document, and then our template, which we obtained from UCC. So we are using the UCC thesis template. So this is where we are going to import the references from. So back to our Word document. So when you open the style, click on the drop down. You will have the manage styles, which is a capital A with a tick. Other versions comes with a capital A with a pen. So based on the version you're having, it might vary. So you click on it and then you go to import export, and then this is where we are going to open the template and then work on our imports. So we close this particular one, the normal one, and then the open comes, we click on open. Then we try to locate our thesis, our template. Mine is currently on the desktop, so I go to desktop and then I go to my documents. I open it. So here it is. So I open it and then I have that. So what I'm going to do is to move my headings to the other side, to my working area. So this is my more of like my document. So as you can see the name here, I can click and drag and then click on copy, then yes to all. Or I can click, hold down my control key and then select them one after the other, and then I click on copy and then yes to all. So that is that with we trying to import. So I can close this now and go back into my document. Now the next vital step to follow is to, because we are using a template, you can simply make changes to the font size using our style we imported. So what do I want to do? This next step is to make those changes from the word. So currently our work is supposed to be in Times New Roman, but we can see the work being in Calibri and font size 11, and then it's supposed to be justified, but it is rather left aligned. So what do? We use the shortcut key Control A to select all the text, and then within our style we locate UCC main text. So we click on UCC main text. Automatically we get to realize there are some changes that have taken place. So when you click now, you get to realize it's now Times New Roman, font size 12. It has been justified, and some other changes were also made. So when you put your mouse on it, you get to realize they indicating the kind of changes that were made. So font was Times New Roman, the size was 12, indentation, alignment justified, the line spacing, and some other changes that were made. Now, one of the rules states that every chapter is supposed to start from a fresh page. But currently what we can see here is everything just put together on the same page. So what do? We separate it. So we are supposed to separate all this. So I click beside it and then I use the shortcut Control Enter, Control Enter, Control Enter, then the chapter 1, Control Enter. Now my chapter 1 is on its own, it starts from a fresh page. And then my list of figures. Yes. So this is our title page. The title page usually holds the title and some other things, but we'll leave that for today. So we can just select this, give it bold, change it to uppercase, and then we center align it. Okay. Yes. So that is done. Now the next thing is to give this its headers. So I click beside it, either before or after, and then I go for heading 1, because the rule says these ones are supposed to take heading 1, and then this heading 1, the list of figures heading 1, because those are headers. So, and then chapter 1, and then the introduction. These two, we can select the two and then we give it heading 1 as well. So we are just simply following the rules. Then over here, the background of the study, we'll be giving it a heading 2. Then we clear this space. Same with this, a heading 2. And this, a heading 2. We give this a heading 2. But based on the rules, research questions and hypotheses, we'll go for a heading 2. And because research questions and then research hypothesis are all under research questions and hypothesis, we'll give this to a heading 3. I hope that's clear. And then the significance of the study, we clear that space and then we give it a heading 2. The limitations of the study, heading 2. Organization of the rest of the study, heading 2. And then earlier on, we made mention of a rule where every chapter is supposed to start from the first page. So click beside the C and then Control Enter to move it to the first page, and then select the 2. These two will take a heading 1, and then this will take a heading 2. And then the same thing we do here, Control Enter. We select this, give it a heading 1, and then the research design, give it a heading 2. Population of the study, a heading 2. Sampling procedure, heading 2. Data collection instruments, we give it a heading 2. Data collection procedure, a heading 2. Data processing and analysis, a heading 2. And then the same thing applies here. Control Enter. Then we select it. And then we give it a heading 1. Yes, we clear this space, it's too much. We give it a heading 2. And then we clear this as well. Okay. This, we clear this space under it. We give it a heading 2. give it a heading too. Then we clear the space. Clear the space as well. I think we are done with that. Now, based on the rules, the difference between heading 1, heading 2, and 3 is heading 1 comes with all caps. Heading 2 comes with the first letter of each word capitalized. So we have to now go through our work and then now change this to this. So we make changes to all the heading 2s. We are supposed to make changes to that. So our C here comes this, then our I. So you continue with that. I think this as well. It's a P. The same thing here. So all our heading 2s, you change those the first alphabet of the rest of the words to a caps. So the same thing here. So make it an A. So when I was changing this, you can realize I jumped over the end. So it being a conjunction, we will leave it out. And then when we find something like to, there, we can leave those things out as well. So a preposition, an article, we can leave those ones out. So you have to follow through to the end of the work to make those changes. Okay, so we continue from there. So the next thing we're going to do is to caption our tables and then figures. So we try to locate our table. So over here we have this. So I can simply select this, drag Control S, and then clear this up. And then I go to reference. And then I go to insert captions. You can see we are trying to caption a table, but a figure is there. So we change the label to a table. We give it a colon, and then Control V to paste the text, and then OK. So we have that there. We've tried to locate our next table. So we still select this, Control X, backspace. So when we go about that, you go back to insert captions, give it a colon, Control V, and then an OK. Then, if you have any other table within the work, we do the same thing. So you can clear this. Or we can just drop this and Control Enter. So this is a figure with Control X, color it up, and then insert captions. We change the label now to a figure. Give it a colon, Control V, and then we paste, and then so I have my caption there. So you get to realize it's now identifying it as a caption. So let's go for the next figure. When you click beside it, it identifies it as part of the main text. So if I'm to go ahead to generate my list of figures without captioning this, it will only end up generating one. instead of 2. So what do? I select this as well, Control S, then backspace, and then insert captions. I give it a colon, then I paste my text, and then okay. So that's that for that. And then we move on, scroll up. We want to work on our margins. So with our project work and thesis, we are supposed to have a margin, a rule concerning the margin. We're given a rule concerning the margin. So we go to layout, and then we go to margins, and then we go to custom margin. Within this, I think mine is in inches. So at the left side, I change it to a 2, and then I leave the rest. Yeah, I think that's okay. So a 2, and then an okay. Okay. Go back to the margins, custom, right? Okay. So that is what we have. Now the next thing is to try to generate our table of content, our list of figures, and then list of tables. So how do we go about that? Go to reference, and then we go to table of content, and then we go to custom table of content. So with that, you can realize we have heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, but its output is currently they are all looking the same. These two, our heading 1 is supposed to be all caps, but as you can see, it's just its first letter capitalized. So we are going to go into the modify and make changes to that. So TOC1 is simply going to have an effect on heading 1, TOC2 heading 2, TOC3 heading 3. So we modify TOC1. So we get to realize our font is in Calibri, and then size is 11, which must not be. So we change it to Times New Roman, and then a 12. And then, yes. And then we go into the format and then font. In the font, we go for all caps, because that is how our heading 1 is supposed to appear. And then we click on OK, another OK, and then we go to TLC2. We modify it as well. So Times New Roman 11, 12, and then OK. Okay, and then we go to TLC3. We modify it Times New Roman 12, and then we proceed from there. Okay, so we don't need a tab leader, so we take this off. So when you get to realize, you come back again, you get to realize, okay, now my heading 1 is in caps. So when I generate this is how it's going to appear, and that's how we want it. You can take off this, and then okay. So you can see how my um, table of content is looking now. I have this as caps. So backspace. But one of the things we left out earlier on is our table. So one of the rules says our preliminary pages are supposed to be numbered with the Roman numerals, and then the main text is supposed to, from chapter 1, is supposed to start with a 1, page number 1. But currently we have a 4. So what do? Double click on a 3, go to page number. No, before we do that, we go to layout. So we go back into the main text. So we locate the last page before the main text. The last page of the preliminary page. We locate it, and then we go to break, and then we go for next page. That will break the page into 2. So now I have 3 here and then a 4 here. It's still looking the same, but the next step will now reveal everything. So I double click on that page number, format page number, and then I change it to the Roman numerals. The Roman numerals, we have 2 forms. We have this, the capitalized one, and the small. So I'm going for the small, and then okay. So you get to realize now my title page now goes with an I, triple I, and then this comes with a 4, chapter 1. The main text comes with a 4. But before we attend to that 4, we were told as well that our title page is not supposed to have a number. It's not supposed to have any numbering of any sort. So how do we take this I off? We take this different first page, still within the header and footer tab. So when I click on it, it takes off, so my title page, it takes off any form of numbering for the page. But you can see I here, triple I, and then a 4. Now let's attend to this 4 too as well. We click beside it, we go to the page number, we go to format page number, and then we click on start from 1, and then okay. So you get to realize triple I here, and then a 1. And then I click on close header and footer here, or I just click on the main text here to automatically close. So you can do any of them. So now I have that with me. So now what do we do here? We go back to the reference, and then we click on update table. So we get to realize our table is automatically updated using the update table. But we get to realize our Roman numerals comes in the uppercase form. So we select it, we go back to home, we go for the case change, and then we change it to lowercase. Select this as well, lowercase. Select this, a lowercase. Okay, so as you can see, here is our work. This is how it's looking. We try to drop this, Control Enter, for it to be on its own page as well. So then we generate our list of tables. So we go back to reference, and then we go to insert table of figures. This, then we have this. Same thing here, we have to modify. So we change it, modify, change this to Times New Roman 12, and then we tick the automatically update, and then okay, and then an okay here. Then remove our tab leader. We don't make use of the tab leader here, so, and then we take off the hyperlink as well, and then an okay. Here we have it. So you just have to move it up. So backspace. Control enter, moves it down, then it here. Now I'm trying to generate my list. Okay, currently here we made an error. So this is supposed to be our table, not a figure. So we left out there. So we go back into a list of tables. We change this. Then figure, instead of the caption label figure, we turn it to table because you are generating the list of tables or not the list of figures. So you can see it now table. And then we go for OK. And then we change that. So it automatically changes to our table. And then we go down to the list of figures. We go through the same procedure. We take off because earlier on we already modified it, so it will be there for us. So we don't have to go back into the modification. Just take this off. Take the tab leader off. Then OK. And then we have our list of figures there as well. I click there and then backspace. And then this is how my work is looking. So my first page, no numbering. Then my table of contents. I have this. And then earlier on we made mention of some changes to this, so I can do that with this as well. This one I can leave because it's a heading 3. So when we make the changes to this, I think we can. Earlier on, I made some corrections concerning the heading 2. If you have to do that within your work, when you update the table, it automatically reflects within the work throughout. But if you don't do that, it means you have to do the changes here as well. So you take note of that. So for now, that's that for the arrangement, the physical features, formats, and then style specifications of the work of your documents. Thanks for your time.